Outer Orange.
That's it. I want to talk to you guys about some Divine Z decks. I wanted to basically tell you the decks I'll be taking, and I'm going to show you guys some lists here so you guys can basically look at these lists, see if you want to build anything out of this, or you can tell me below what you're interested in building. May not even be from here, but this is the decks I'm going to be trying for Divine Z. You know, you can tell me yours, and we're going to go ahead and get started talk about these decks. We have the Direful Doll. I really think this deck's cool. I'm a big doll fan. I have Nightmare Dolls both in V and in Premium. In V, it's completely maxed out, and Premium is technically maxed out. It's just not max rarity with every single possible rarity possible maxed out. It's just regular, everything's SP type of maxed out. But long story short, big doll fan. Really like this concept. It's basically a lot of binding. You can guard with your bind with this guy right here. It's just a really good combination, and then you also get multi-attacks. You get triple drive. You just have a lot. You don't have to worry about your resources as much. It's just an overall, just a really good combination. Over on, we also have a lot of like resource management. But what's really interesting is I want to talk about more about this. We have the Zargon is back. Basically, you can auto hit and shove more dolls back into soul after you've already blocked with them, guarded with them, all that kind of fun stuff. We also have Direful Doll triggers, so if you have ways to get them in, you can also use them for guard along with the heal triggers. And there's actually even another heal that you can use that says when your opponent is on a higher grade than you, you can actually use those heals to guard with as well. There would be 20k shields, so that's also just a really cool concept. Other than that, we do have the little mouse here just for a little bit counter charge. Everything else is just dolls doing doll stuff, and we are writing the generic card as well just to kind of help a little bit with that soul, also give us a boost and some power. Also, as you ride up, you can draw cards, and that's also really good, especially if you're going second. So overall, just Direful Dolls being Direful Dolls. I don't know the deck fully. I'm excited to try it out. I really like the concept, and I can't wait to try it. Now, Gravidia is a deck that for some reason I just can't drop no matter what goes on. You'll notice this is the maskless deck, but you can run mask. I just really like this new card. This is Madlier. Basically, it says you can guard with it if you have three meters in your drop. It's a 10k shield, 2k power, so 10k booster. You can energy blast take 3 meters from your hand, basically put them into your order zone. If you put 2 or more, you get to draw a card. Very good effect. It's nothing crazy, nothing broken. It's just a good effect, especially if your head is cluttered with meteors. You can also draw off of it while also setting up for Gravidia turns. Very good combination. You'll notice here I'm running the Combat Rusher and the Ride Line because this deck I ran more meteors in this build, so I decided that Combat Rusher is the way to go to just have a constant card on the board, especially since we're drawing a lot and going through our deck all. We have the Energy Blast. We don't have to like worry about our Counter Blast as much now, so it's really nice. And we're also working with the 50 card deck now, so we have more room for all these with all the cool cards. Next, we have this new the Generic Nation card. This card actually directly searches for grade 3s. So you can actually search for mask cards if you go the mask route. You can search for Burrito if you want to do that. You do have to discard a card, but this deck draws so much they don't even care. And also, again, the Ride Line effect, you get to draw with either the Counter Blast or the Energy Blast, which is also really nice. So that you can get through your deck a little bit faster. And yeah, that's basically it. We have the Burrito still because it's searchable. And then we're running 16 meteors, and then everything else is pretty standard. Like I said, you could try the mask build. You could probably cut back 2 of these, maybe 1 of these, throw in a mask, throw in two Gravidia mask, and just call it a day. Try it out, see if it works for you. I still think it's kind of clunky, so I stuck to this. We're going fronts because fronts are better. You don't want to deck out. You definitely don't want to deck out. Now with energy and everything, you definitely don't want to deck out. But I just went for the regular, 3 attacks. Everything's brutal. Take it or leave it type of approach. And I don't know, maybe it's good. I don't know. I cope all the time. From one cope to another cope. I'm mainly joking. However, every time I build this deck, it always feels a step behind. But anyway, this is Kyrie. She got a lot of new stuff, so she's really good. There's a lot of ways to build this deck. You can go Persona, you can go grade 4, you can go order list, you can go like no friends, you can go non-friends, you can go restand heavy, you can go grade 3 heavy. There's so many different ways. Doll, whatever you name it. I decided to go the order route, and I decided to go the Ballista Ride Line route just because I really like Stagger Rush. Is a really great card. Really good combination. You get free cards to the board, which is something you want with Kyrie. Kyrie really struggles when you don't have normal use on the board. Also, this deck now has a new card, which is this right here. This is Holette. Holette's insane because she lets you basically bounce your whole board, most of your board back to hand, while also boosting, while also getting 5k. And she also draws you cards and fulfills soul, which is something you definitely really want in this deck. So long story short, if you have a grade 4, you bounce 2. If you have a grade 3, you bounce 1, because she works off of what the grade of your Kyrie deck, or Kyrie Vanguard is. So that's really cool. Running 2 Kyries because you don't really need any more. Yasmin over here searches for them, and then we also have the new Persea card, which also lets you bounce cards and also draws you cards off of the Energy Blast. It's another really good combination. You should have a pretty stacked hand. She also returns cards back to your hand. Very big, very important. Obviously, we have the restander. This is Penelope. She gives that front row extra 5k, which does stack up really quickly, and then also she restands herself in the column behind her, and it's just a really good combination. She also gets 5k on her own, which is really good, so she becomes very beefy with the front and everything. And also because now you're bouncing your entire board, you get the 5k stacks off of the Kyrie a lot more often. We're also running Yuika. You can run something else, you don't have to run Yuika. I just run Yuika just because it's more incentive for more bouncing. If you have 2 Yuikas the back row at the other turn, you can bounce both of them with the new card. And also, again, she gives power to a thing that's called in front of it, and you'll be doing that a lot more often now, so chances are you are calling something that would be swinging for really big, so that's always also really nice. The only thing I like about this deck, I'm not running that many grade 3s. I might adjust it, I don't know yet. Otherwise, this is good. Constantly returning cards to hand is just always really useful. Next, we have the Eileen. Eileen's kind of just a tech option here, and she's kind of there just to kind of help fill the deck. We're running the 3 orders here. We have obviously the Order of Searchable of the Ballista ride line. Then we have this card that just keeps looping over and over again with Stegra. Basically, you keep bouncing something, discarding, getting her back to hand, bouncing something, discarding, getting back to hand. You can basically Stegra loop with that. And then if you want, you can also go for the ladder, which will also draw you a bunch of cards. You'll also draw your card, get your soul, and also get 5k to your Vanguard, which is also very massive. The only thing downside of this card is you really don't downside this deck. You really don't want to stay on grade 3 Kyrie. You want to be on grade 4 Kyrie. You want to get there pretty ASAP. So for running 2, and sometimes I'm thinking about bumping it to 3. I'm thinking about it, and maybe even throw up Persona, maybe completely dropping Eileen. I don't know yet. I like having boosters, and this deck does not have a lot of it right now, so we'll have to see. Next, we have Migo. Not gonna lie, I'm not too familiar with Migo. I do want to build it. I don't know if we're gonna stick around to it, but basically this deck is it's also a binding deck, funnily enough. You bind your units, you recall your units, you restand your units, and you basically just loop through them. We have these Crytic cards that basically call themselves out, and through order effects, and then you can also draw and get like some soul effects, which is pretty important because you do soul blast quite a bit in this deck, so you want the soul to work with. So if you use these cards with the order effects that they have, and then you basically just call them out and use their effects while also using the binding effects off of these, getting power and multi attack. And then we're also running we're running that transfer. You can also run the ladder instead if you want to go down that route. I don't know how much this deck clears board. If it clears board a lot, then maybe you don't need ladder at all. Not too sure, but hey, the deck's still good. And I also found out recently that there are effect triggers. I didn't realize these were effect triggers. I love this whole time they're regular triggers. That's also really cool. But yeah, that's basically the Migo deck. I can't wait to try it out. I don't know if I'm gonna stick to it, but I'm definitely gonna try it. So there's that. Last but not least, we have Greon. I think Greon got a little bit of an upgrade. It's like minor, but it's just enough to keep the deck pretty relevant. I think it's insane. Very, very strong deck. I think people really sleep on this deck. I just think this Garshik's still really good. The restand's really good. You just have so much to work with in this deck. This new card is really good. It gets power to itself, but also gets power to your Greon, which is something you always want. You always want your Greon to be very beefy. And then we got some of these, a little bit of new love to kind of get like rear guards to the board more. You get more rear guards of power. And we have this new guy that also has shield as well. But he puts himself into hand, which means you'll always have ways to get rear guards. Obviously, this should be like a staple in your deck. The searches for masks, and it's just really good. It's just really good. Just be careful how you soul blast, but that's basically it. And then we have the mask, and then obviously Greon has his own effect, basically just being able to restand himself. And yeah, there's just I don't know. I think this deck's still just a very strong deck, and I can't wait to try it. And yeah, that's basically all the decks. I think my favorite one out of these is probably the Kyrie. It's either the Kyrie deck or the Greon. I'm really, really excited to try both. And the dolls. The dolls is definitely something up there. You notice no Keter, no Stoicheia this time. I'm not really... I want to try Alden, but I just don't have the time to like invest into it. And I really, really, really want to spend time in the Direful Doll deck, so that's why I'm kind of holding back on Keter and Stoicheia. Also, I'm waiting for Zorga. Zorga comes out in set 2, so obviously I have some time between now and then. So in the meantime, I can play other decks, and nothing else in Stoicheia is as interesting to me currently as some of the other stuff. I don't want to try Magnolia, but I think it's a little bit out of my taste right now. So I'm really enjoying these decks right now, and I can't wait to really truly try them out. I've been playing them on CFA here and there, but I really want to actually play them with my hands, you know, use my fingers. So I'm really excited for that. But other than that, guys, that's all for this. Tell me again below, what is your favorite deck? What are you building out of Divine Z? I hope, are you building any of these? Is there anything in here that you want to try out? Something you want to, you know, stick to? Is there something new that you want to test? Are you trying out Divine Z decks? So what is your favorite Divine skill deck? Because you notice I don't have any Divine in here, actually. It's funny, I'm playing the Divine from the Divine set, but I'm not playing a single Divine deck. It's kind of interesting. I'm actually not as interested in any of the Divine decks as I could be. I think Historic is the one I'm truly interested in, but everything else I'm kind of holding back on for the time being. I will be getting Crusade, but I've got to kind of hold off on her for a little bit, probably play her a little bit later, more focus her in Highlander. Shop, CodeOrange if you need goodies. Hope this was informative for you. Do not forget to subscribe and get your goodies. Just get to see more of my face if you'd like to see my face, my beautiful face, you know, this face right here. But on that, guys, hope you guys enjoy that. So I'm gonna head out now, so peace out. See you guys in future videos. Don't forget to leave me below what decks you're playing. Tell me. I want to know. I'm curious. Tell me what you're playing. Is it Raziel? Is it Varga? What are you playing? What are you playing? Are you gonna play Vladimir? Are you gonna play those people? Are you gonna play Velstra? What are you gonna play? What are you gonna play? Tell me. What are you gonna play? What's your favorite deck? Must know. Is it Kyrie? I bet it's Kyrie. Oh no, you're a Fennel player, aren't you? You're a Fennel player. I see you. You're a dirty Fennel player.